What's up, beautiful people on the internet? Welcome back to my channel. I am V, a young Nigerian learning about the world, particularly German, particularly Germany. Okay, now in this video I'm going to be reacting to a video titled Genius German Things That Should Exist Everywhere. This is the first time reacting to this particular video. I hope you enjoy my reaction and I hope I get to learn something new and different about Germany. Let's do this. In the course of watching this video, if you resonate with my reaction, please give the video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe to the channel. It helps a small channel like mine. And if you want to be generous enough, you can actually buy me a coffee. The link is going to be in the description of this video. Yeah.
Germany has had its share of geniuses. But should Germany be world famous for these genius things as well? Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie, and along with my wife Aubrey, we are two Americans currently living in Germany with our baby, sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe. One thing we often stress in our videos about cultural differences between the US and Germany is that there may not always be a right and a wrong way of doing things, simply just different cultures and different worldviews. Well, except for when it comes to poop shelf toilets. Germans definitely have that one wrong. But after living in Germany for 4 years and having tried to see the world from the German perspective to challenge our American upbringing, we have discovered a few things in Germany that, well, are actually just genius. And either we wish the US had these things or did it this way. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today in my video. I've got one thing to say. Let's do it the German way. First, let me say that we are originally from a southern US state called Oklahoma and now live in the German state of Rhineland-Pfalz. So maybe some of these things are more specific to our life experiences and places we have lived. So let me know your experiences with these things in the comments below. Whoa, stop. Who wrote this script? I didn't want to talk about zippers on clothing. Europe usually puts the zipper pulls on men's jackets on the wrong side anyways. Oh, I see what we did there, because I do actually want to talk about zippers, just not clothing zippers. I'm talking about Reißverschlussverfahren. Okay, imagine you were driving down the highway, you notice some signs for construction up ahead and the left lane will soon be ending. What do you do? Well, in Germany, the answer is simple and genius. But in the US, specifically Oklahoma, it's a heated debate. No, really, Oklahomans actually debate this all the time.
Oh, this is a hot topic. What is the correct way to get out of a lane that's coming to an end? Well, we found there's no universal answer, but there's one method called the zipper merge that's gaining in popularity.
When I was growing up, I remember going on road trips, and as we approached construction and as a lane would be ending, my father would merge way in advance, and so would everybody else. We would drive along with the lane that would be ending still open for a long way, and some cars would zip down that line all the way to where the construction zone begins, then merge over. For many Oklahomans, including my father, at least back then, this was viewed as very rude and cutting in line.
I really get annoyed by drivers who actually do that. Because it's so rude.
Therefore, it was super common for my father, along with a lot of other drivers, to drive in both lanes in order to block those line skippers, aka zipper mergers, from getting up to the front of the line. Now in Germany, German drivers would probably find it a little scary how much debate and confusion there is amongst American drivers as to how to merge at construction sites, because in Germany it is fairly clear that the zipper merge is the way to go. In fact, it is written in black and white in the Straßenverkehrsordnung.
And that is what I love about Germans. Like, they have everything written down in their system, in the law. Like, there's a law backing up everything. Like, I mean, is supposed to be the normal way to go. Once you're driving on a particular lane and this lane is going to end somewhere, probably because there's an accident or there's a construction ahead, the proper thing to do is to move the other lane to continue your journey. I don't know what is rude about it, okay?
Paragraph 7, section 4. Drivers exhaust the entirety of both lanes and then file in where the lane ends, just like a zipper. And the science doesn't lie.
Studies show traffic moves 35 to 40% faster when drivers zipper merge.
Zipper merging really is better and should be made much more common in the US.
California maintains it's better to early merge, saying the zipper merge is a recipe for rear-enders.
Okay, but California does everything backwards, so I can't expect them to get it right. But come on, Oklahoma, let's figure it out. The next thing in Germany that I have found to be genius is their ice cream. So in the US, you have what I guess you would call American ice cream that we obviously just call ice cream. And this is the dominant form of this dessert. But in Germany, ice can be a bit confusing because generally Germans don't always use different words to distinguish between ice cream and gelato, where Americans are very particular about making this distinction. Germans might call some ice cream assortments in Germany Amerikanisches Eis, or I've even seen ice cream American style if they know the difference. For example, Ben & Jerry's is an American ice cream brand which you can find in most places in Germany. But to be specific, gelato style of ice cream definitely is the dominant form in Germany. So really, this genius difference is thanks to Italian.
A quick disclaimer here. I have never lived in the US and I have never lived in Germany. I'm just a foreigner learning about these countries. I'm particularly interested in Germany, okay? So like most of these things that he's saying here looks strange to me, so please don't mind the reactions on my face, okay? I am learning.
In Germany, but I experienced it in Germany, so that's why it's in this video. And no, gelato is not just the Italian translation for ice cream. They are scientifically different things. But what's the genius difference, you are asking? Well, in Germany, we usually just get the Edeka Gut und Günstig brand from the grocery store to eat at home. And the ice cream we always get in the US, Bluebell. Now, both of these are fairly good representations of the vastly different experiences of eating ice cream at home between Germany and the US. In the US, you want some ice cream, you grab your spoon, you grab the ice cream out of the freezer, you go to scoop it, and... In Germany, you do the same process, but when you go to scoop...
Wow. Easy peasy. Easy peasy.
Legit, every time you get ice cream in Germany.
Why?
Unlike in the US. Now, we learned this the hard way because in the US we are so used to ice cream being so hard when you first take it out of the freezer. You typically would actually let it sit on the counter for a little while as you wait for it to soften before trying to scoop it, or if you're impatient and don't have the forearm strength to manhandle out the scoops you want, you might even throw it in the microwave just for a couple of seconds to soften it a bit in order to serve it. So being used to doing this in the US, the first time we bought ice cream in Germany, we sat it out on the counter, and when we came back to serve it after letting it soften, we found just a pool of ice cream. That's when we learned, oh, in Germany, the ice cream is soft straight out of the freezer, and if you let it soften before serving, it's just going to completely melt. So why is ice cream so genius in Germany that they have engineered it to be soft and ready to enjoy straight out of the freezer? Well, since I am just an expert at eating ice cream, not an expert at making ice cream, I had to look online and I found that there are a couple of factors that contribute to the hardness differences, namely amount of fat, freezing temperature, and amount of air in the ice cream. So I tried to compare the ingredients between these two brands and the nutritional information to compare the fat content, and they look to my untrained eye fairly similar in terms of the ingredients, and some variations exist in the fat content in minor ways. So from what I can tell, it seems like the secret actually is air. No, the air in Germany isn't pure or better, but the amount of air whipped into ice cream during manufacturing must be what's causing the texture difference.
Yeah.
Now, I personally have never purchased American ice cream in Germany that is true American ice cream that you can also get in the US, like Ben & Jerry's. And in my research for this video, I did get curious as to whether or not it is sold as hard as American ice cream typically, or if it is Germanized and is soft. So this is gonna be a live on-camera test. I got my first ever Ben & Jerry's ice cream in Germany. I literally grabbed it out of the freezer just now and sprinted up here to see if it's soft or hard. Let's see.
I want to see soft.
Oh. That's actually pretty soft. I wouldn't say it's as soft as normal German ice cream, but that does seem like it's softer than maybe what I would typically get in the US. That could be maybe a difference in the freezer temperatures, or it could be the fact that this is a super hot room with no air conditioning, and in the US we have air conditioning, so the houses are freezing as well, so it started melting quicker than it typically would in the US, but that's a good one. Germans are so much better in bed. At least designing beds. They are so much better at how they put together the bedding. What I mean is, in my personal opinion, German beds are so much more genius than the traditional and general American beds. To start, when you very first see a true bed that a German couple would use, you will see that they normally are made something like this. Whereas American beds will be made like this. This one German norm that, to be completely honest, has tried to divide our family.
Exactly.
And we have had to have many discussions about whether or not we will adopt it. I am in favor of going full German with this, but Aubrey just can't bring herself to become comfortable with, well, that is having separate duvets on the bed for each of us to have our own. Yes, in the US, when a couple sleeps in the same bed, there will always be just one comforter, duvet, sheet, or whatever the covering may be, and that's something that I never questioned until moving to Germany. However, in Germany, couples will each have their own duvet and not share between the two of them. And I don't think it can get any better than that, to be honest. I love the idea that we don't have to fight over the covers at night when one person rolls over and burritos themselves, the other isn't left in the cold, and I can wrap myself up in a shield from Aubrey's ice cold feet at night. Now, for Aubrey, she has said that she loves the closeness without any barriers when we have just one duvet. To her, it feels kind of like a modern day compromise of the separate twin beds for a couple you would see in the 1950s, for example. And in her opinion, the US has just completed the normal progression from separate twin beds to sharing the same bed and sheets, whereas Germans are stuck somewhere in the middle. But beyond just the separate duvets, Germans also have separate mattresses, typically, which I also find genius, and which we also, unfortunately, still have not compromised on. In the US, the value...
I don't understand. Why? I think I should watch this video to really understand what... I mean, if there are two mattresses on a bed, is there not going to be like the points where the two mattresses meet? That place is going to be soft, like you cannot lie down there. It's going to be, you can easily fall in. I don't know if you get, but let me get the idea behind the two mattresses on the bed first.
The value of having two separate mattresses is not an idea that is lost on Americans, though. Just for some reason, we are stuck in the mindset that we must have one mattress on a bed, which it's actually funny to put it that way because in Germany, you actually can get stuck in between the two mattresses on a bed, which is a downside. In this space between mattresses, you can get stuck in between, actually has a specific name called a Besucherritze, or visitor's gap. Don't ask me why, I'm sure someone will write the answer for this name in the comments below. But in the US, we do have mattresses that, for example, have remote controls that allow the partners sleeping in the bed to manually select their own size firmness or softness so they can have two different sleeping experiences. Or there are specialty split head mattresses in which you can adjust the head height for each partner, and some of those also even have the firmness adjustment for both sides as well. But is all of this over-engineered and overly expensive solutions to a simple problem? Maybe, which is why Germans in their efficient ways said, just put two separate mattresses on a bed, and if you don't like the gap, buy a gap filling piece, then we both can have the mattress we like. Genius.
There is a bed filling piece.
One of the most intimidating things about learning German, but what I find to be one of the most genius parts of the German language that I wish English had, is compound words. Okay, in English we also have compound words like football, grandparent, fireman, anti-disestablishmentarianism. Only German allows for much longer and more complicated combinations like Bundesausbildungsförderungsgesetz, which actually is a relatively short word with only 33 letters compared to words like, well, this one, coming in at 63 letters. So you may look at this as a non-German speaker and say, well, why is that genius when it looks insanely complicated and cumbersome? Well, let's look at a smaller compound German word to understand why this is so genius. Faultier. What could this word mean? Well, faul would be translated as lazy and Tier as animal. What would be a lazy animal? A sloth. Okay, let's try something a little bit harder. Torschlusspanik. Well, we have Tor meaning gate, Schluss meaning closing, and Panik meaning, well, panic. So obviously this word means the gate closing panic you feel when your town is closing the city gate at night and you're going to be locked out. Well, at least it's a feeling that is similar to that medieval feeling, I guess, because it actually means the feeling you get like you're going to be missing out on something in life, such as marriage as you get older and are still single. But do you see the genius in this system? These incredibly long and scary German words are actually just a bunch of smaller words smushed together. Rather than when a word maybe doesn't exist in a language, a new invention comes along, or somebody has a hard time explaining an emotion, German allows for new words to be made using old words that everybody could understand rather than inventing up some new term that nobody else would be able to understand. For example, how often do you find yourself cooking a nice boiled egg but can't actually eat it? You try cracking it, rolling it, smashing it to get that delicious soft inside, but every time it just ends up being a crumble mess of shell and egg. What a mess. Well, not anymore, thanks to the German engineering and the Eierschalen zur Verursacher. Yep, that is an actual tool in Germany, although the name technically is a gimmicky marketing stunt that takes advantage of the German language ability to create insanely long words. But that doesn't change the fact that a German could look at this word and read it as eggshell intended breaking point causer, or something like that. Oh, and this is a fun example because this word is like a Russian nesting doll where inside this compound word you have other compound words already. Sometimes words could even be infinitely long, like technically could be done with numbers, considering numbers in German are all spelled out as one word. For example, 999,999 is spelled like this. So the higher you count, the longer the word gets. But essentially, if English had the same rules as German, this old law, which is translated like this, would simply be written like this. So genius.
Now, if you legit watched to this point, it means you enjoy my reaction so far. So go ahead and give this video a like, leave a comment for me in the comment section, subscribe to the channel and share the video. These things I just said, they are free. I've noticed that 97% of you guys are not subscribed to my channel. You guys just come, watch and go. Please subscribe, like the video and share the video. It helps small channels like mine, you know, a little on YouTube. I was a bit confused when he talked about 2 mattresses on a bed, but he went on to explain that if there is a space in between, you know, that will cause a little discomfort between the 2 persons on the bed, you know, get a filler and fill out the spaces. It's actually genius because, I mean, the kind of comfort, the kind of softness you would want. Like, I remember going somewhere one time like that, and when I got to the place, I put my things in the house. Then I discovered that the mattress on the bed is an orthopedic mattress. Like, I was like, it was so strong, like that's not my kind of bed. I literally had to pack my things, leave to get a space that had, you know, a soft mattress. Now, bringing 2 persons, like 2 persons coming together to stay in a room, like a couple, they might have a type of mattress that they are comfortable sleeping in. Now, I think Germans are, I'll give it to them on that one. You know, the idea of bringing two types of mattresses on one bed is genius. Okay, I literally had fun watching this video and I hope you enjoyed my reaction. Check through my channel. I have quite a number of videos that you would love to see, and if you enjoyed them, whether or not you enjoy them, please give a like, subscribe and share. See you right in my next video. Bye.